Whitney Dunn with your chapter 1 vlog. So after watching the Teach Us All video and reading the articles, it reminded me of why I am a teacher and why I think having that classroom community is so essential. All the universal learning is very important. How you never know what these students face outside your classroom, whether it's income challenges, whether it's segregation challenges. We never should treat them any different based on their race, their color, their gender, anything. Seeing all these things reminded me of how you really need to do the universal learning, how engage in the way that their lifestyle is. One quote that really stood out the most to me was, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter the most," by Martin Luther King Jr. If I just stop and don't stand up for what I think is right, and what's fair for these students, my purpose isn't being fulfilled. My purpose is to be the young teacher that I am, to have a heart for service for these students, to really deeply get into their lives, God, and see why they aren't being successful in the classroom, whether it's if they are not getting a meal at home that I can feed them to help them so they are able to learn, whether it's not having lights at their house, whatever it is. I want to stand up for what's right for these students, God, what's right, and be a godly example for these students. I want to meet the students where they are. I want to cope to their needs. I think it's important for teachers to not see the color, the gender, the income, the students, no matter what their language, whatever it is. I think it's important that we work with those students in those communities to help be successful. We need to keep the students involved, because if we don't keep them involved in the choices that are going on in our school, in our community, whether we're all working together, I do not feel it will be successful. Change happens when the people that need it the most are involved. So if we keep students involved in, hey, what would you like for us to do as teachers? How can we help you? Whether it's give you another meal after school, whether it's we provide free lunches for you, whatever it is, we want to keep the students involved in those, because those are the ones that matter the most. The teacher development is also super important. If we have parents involved, it's very important. Teachers play a huge role in these students' lives. It's not easy to be a teacher, but we have to put the students first and their needs first. We have to find where they are, and we as teachers have to meet them. So it's important to build that classroom community. It's important to have universal learning, whether we're changing the way they speak their languages, that home where we're meeting them, the students, where they are. I really enjoyed watching this video. It was very meaningful to me. I also loved reading the articles, and this is such a great reminder as spring break is right now, and I'm trying my best to kick it through the last of the school year, but being reminded these things, how I need to meet my students and continue to meet my students where they are, is very meaningful, and I appreciate you for giving this for our first chapter 1.